ever get that feeling. Picturing yourself lining up that game-winning putt, it all comes down to this.
Pressure's on.
Totally. But imagine if you could practice that very putt, like anywhere. We're digging into that today.
Yeah, this is about taking those skills, from the practice green to the real deal. And we're seeing if this company, PuttAWay Golf, might have cracked the code.
They certainly seem to think so. We got our hands on their brochure, and they are not shying away from bold claims. Taking your putting game to a whole new level, they say. But what's the reality?
Right, let's unpack it.
Exactly. So first things first, these aren't those flimsy putting mats you might be picturing.
No, we're talking sophisticated systems here. What struck me is their focus on replicating those subtle nuances of a real green.
The little things, right?
Absolutely. They have adjustable slopes built right in,
Right.
up to a 4% gradient. Might not sound like much.
I was going to say.
But believe me, even the slightest incline can throw off your entire game.
Oh, tell me about it. I've been fooled by seemingly flat greens countless times.
Exactly. So this platform lets you really home in on those subtle breaks. And that kind of practice at home, that's huge for consistency.
Absolutely. And get this, they offer customization too.
Now that's where it gets really interesting. They'll tailor the platform size to your space, which is a game changer.
Yeah, because not everyone has a sprawling mansion for a putting green.
Precisely. So whether you've got a dedicated game room or a tiny city apartment, they say they can make it work. Personalized practice for better on-course results, that's their big sell.
Makes sense in theory, but let's be real, this level of tech, it's
Yeah.
got to come with a hefty price tag, right?
Yeah, it's not for the faint of heart, let's put it that way. Their PRO premium model, even the smallest one starts at 5,200 tela.
Whoa, that's more than a new set of clubs.
It's an investment, that's for sure.
So are we talking about a gimmick for the super rich, or could this actually be a game changer for, the average golfer who's serious about improvement?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Oh.
It's like anything else. Think about it like a gym membership versus building out a home gym.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Right. It's significant upfront cost, no doubt.
Yeah.
But then you've got that dedicated space tailored to you.
Potentially for years, if not decades.
Exactly. So
Okay.
for someone who's really committed to, shaving strokes off their game, this could be it.
It does make you wonder, but then there's that skeptical voice in my head, does all this fancy tech actually translate to better performance on an actual course with wind, uneven terrain, the real deal?
Right. That's the unknown variable, isn't it?
It is, and that's what we're left with. This idea that a perfectly controlled environment, even if it's super realistic, might not actually make you a better golfer when you step onto the course. It's that gap between theory and practice.
Exactly. And that's for each golfer to decide.
PuttAWay Golf certainly believes in their tech, and honestly, it's pretty compelling stuff. But ultimately, it's about whether that translates to the real world, and that, my friend, is the final putt we'll leave for our listeners to sink.